Yes.
Do any of you know of the extraordinarily low wages that the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe?
I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to recently ended conflicts remains in place. And I have heard it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living, yes.
All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son. That's why you're stealing things at the restaurant? The place is heaving with money. Every 3 days, I'd go there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak at the same time. It sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worryingly believable.
And your target that day was the old man and his koban?
Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all.
A veritable phantom thief you are.
I was all set to leave the steak I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Yes, when the professor was shot. I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. I know too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could. On the double, I slipped it under the steak, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. Everyone's just like, okay then. Honestly, I was expecting it to be that the kid just grabbed it. Like when they were
just like how just like babies just like grab stuff randomly.
Yes. That would have been funny. I mean, this is still hilarious, but God, that would have been like just the funny, like, you know. But then again, this is Ace Attorney. That's a reasonable thing, and from what I understand, this series doesn't do reasonable.
No. And sometimes it bites it in the ass at times, but
yeah. And everyone goes fucking silent. This is ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time. Well, Miss Brett. Oh, of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. May the esteemed gentleman please be excused, Your Excellency.
Indeed. The theft of the koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder.
Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. Nonsense, is it? Well, oof. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure badness.
Very well. Not all the questions concerning the witness's testimony have been answered. I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. And good day.
Inosuke, what's the matter with you? There is no time for daydreaming.
Oh, no, it's just... something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction in there somewhere. Something quite didn't add up.
If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard.
Sorry?
You can think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Ooh. Hold it! Wait, Miss Brett. What is it now? I'm afraid, just one last time. There's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction? What new student nonsense is this?
Oh, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke?
Oh, we've already read this part, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
just...
we'll still read it, because...
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to voice it out, because...
Well, yeah, you don't have to do that, it just...
But
yeah.
I'm reading it, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the part that I noticed instantly. Yes, I'm right. But she said they're exposed in an undeniable contradiction.
I'm going to need to see evidence, Counsel. If Miss Brett's words truly are contradictory, where is the evidence to prove it?
Picture of the steak. Is it the picture of the steak or the steak itself?
I think it might just be the steak itself.
All right.
Because if you see, like those are very clearly just like actual bite marks.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's just a coin again.
I thought we could examine it again. But never mind. So presenting this fucking steak.
Yeah. The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed, yes? Or killed, yes. Go on.
More accurately, Your Excellency, the steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed. Now you're just splitting hairs. Not true. Doesn't something about the steak strike you as very unnatural? Unnatural? What on earth do you mean? It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett.
Notice what exactly, Counsel?
Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishwoman could even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork. Of course she did. She's a refined Englishwoman, the gentlewoman herself. And take a good look at the steak, in particular, the edge where it's been eaten. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there. Ah!
Oh.
Ah!
It looks like Miss Brett has realized something.
So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all. But, what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously... Ooh. Oh. Whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer. Of course. This will be over in a blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this Rick in his place. Oh my god. I've heard enough. You irritating little spectacled samurai relic. Of course, dear lady.
What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers?
Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implications of these teeth marks in the steak have for her.
Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this?
Yes. Now at last, it's all come together. The mysterious teeth marks in a steak that had allegedly been eaten with the cutlery. The reason why the bloodstain I know I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. And most importantly, The evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day.
I accept that these teeth marks in the stake are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us?
Everything, Your Excellency. Everything? Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the stake here amount to the conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any of a doubt who shot Dr. Wilson. Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase. Typical Japanese empty threats.
How can you be so sure?
Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet. Hasn't been... What? But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean the evidence does not exist. This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already. You say there's evidence yet to be brought forward? There can't be. I don't believe you have it. I don't, but there's someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every mystery remaining about this case.
Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth about this whole affair?
This guy.
Yes.
Because there's the other stake plate. The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga.
What? I have it?
Yes.
You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous.
No, no, no. No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on the stake with the teeth marks.
Yes.
Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoyed chomping my way through a good steak. And as well as admitting to stealing Correctus-san's coin, he told us he slipped it under the steak. You watch it, cadet. I'm a superior officer. Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the stake you put the coin under, in fact, your own stake? Tension! Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it. In other words, the stake that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal. But that makes no sense. That plate was taken from the victim's table. Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin. Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire.
Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
Exactly. Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two stakes over.
The sergeant. But...
Oh my god.
Oh, maybe that's where we're going with this. Okay.
It's been a while since you played this game, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been a while since I played the first game specifically.
You did switch the plates? Well, after it happened, the, Dang. When I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my stake and hid the coin underneath it. But when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I'd had it. If he decided to investigate my style of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders. But when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. With military precision and timing, I switched my stake with the one on the foreign lady's table. What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing. It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you, so yes, I did what had to be done. Unbelievable! Oh my God. However, you're not Prosecutor Son. What now? I swear on the brass buttons of my uniform. That is all I did, sir. All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
Yes.
So, if Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak, and the plate it was on, back to his own table.
Yes, that follows.
Inspector Hosonaga,
Yes.
earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. That to preserve the evidence, you had to take both. Ah!
That's correct.
I love how she's freaking out now and biting her own mask.
Yeah.
Then please present it to the court now. That plate was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot. What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat? It can have the slightest bearing on the case.
Objection.
No, you're not wriggling your way out of it this time, lady.
I beg your pardon?
Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you. No?
I've called this from the... No, I'm just gonna say this. This case has taken me on like 17, now 18 twists and turns. To the point that I'm like, I think I've got this, but at the same time, what the fuck? What the actual fuck?
Yeah, that's gonna be a feeling you're gonna be intimately familiar with by the time this game's over.
Well then. You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me.
The reason the defense asked to see that plate was was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing.
Thinks he remembers. I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. Hunt. God. Yeah, that's a bit mean, but goddamn, this lady. I'm ready to see her
Since when have you cared about being mean?
I normally don't say that about women.
Okay, fair.
Like, I don't say bitch to a girl. I call a guy a bitch, and I call a woman a douchebag.
Okay.
On the other side of that plate was the on the table. On the side of the plate that was on the table, directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear splattering of blood. The gunshot wound to the victim's chest.
I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett. Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show us the evidence to the court. Present the beefsteak and plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident. Yes, sir! This guy's just happy to be able to contribute, I swear.
I know, I love him so much.
Sorry for keeping you. And there you have it. Here's the other steak and its plate. Please, feel free to examine it.
The most Texan case there's ever been in an Ace Attorney game.
Yeah, oh, just you fucking wait. The bloodstain. It's clearly visible. Look.
Yes.
Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate shows that at the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me.
In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo to have shot the victim.
Ah! It can't be. In fact, there's only one person who could have possibly shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. That's right. Miss Giselle Brett. It's you! And I see the autosave, which means I'm correct. Outdone by a Japanese schoolboy? No. No. No! The goose just... The swan is going out again. Oh my god! Yeah! All of these birds flying out of her fucking hat.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? And I thought Katamari Damacy got fucking weird. I thought the fucking Katamari games got fucking weird. No, that's the second breakdown in this game.
Yes.
I love the breakdowns so far.
Yeah.
Please excuse my... Oh wait, what are you gonna say?
There's a breakdown for every killer in the game, and there are some witnesses, like some of the more important witnesses, also have breakdowns.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me.
Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth, this time.
Gladly, Your Excellency. It was I who took the professor's life using Curar. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth this morning.
So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water. Because Curar is unheard of even here in Japan.
Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only need to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water, and it would all be over. I would place the steak the steak I had ordered in front of him, make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table. That would be me, I suppose. Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you decided to come over to greet the professor, and that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment.
A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man.
I happen to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of Curar in my bag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt. Under your skirt? I was right. There were 2 guns. Yes. And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. Placed where you were sure that I would notice it. And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I'd intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up... I love how it's all coming together now.
Yeah.
That's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared.
Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside.
That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor in his chair around.
Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he'd picked up the gun.
And everyone is shocked because, god damn it, I fucking did it. So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. Bitch! Bitch, please!
Oh.
You know, I would take a glove and one of your gloves off your hand and bitch slap you with that shit. Misdemeanor my fucking ball sack! I swear to fucking God, this woman! I mean, you know what? She's the first woman of the Japanese game Cunt Club next to Kamoshida and Jasper Jr. Two more fucking heroes.
Wait, he's Japanese?
Well, of Japanese, like, games. From Japanese games.
Okay.
And, oh, wait, no, Jasper's a final guy, but he's still there anyway. But Kamoshido. She's right next to fucking Kamoshido for me. Fuck you! Fuck you!
Oh.
Fucking... Ryunosuke, I'm right there fucking with you. God damn. Your Excellency.
Yes.
I wonder. Might I speak with you in private later?
I shall call on you.
Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san. Fuck you! That's all I can say! God damn, this is like... God damn, you make me hate someone so easily. Like, that's impressive, game. Good fucking job!
Yeah. It would seem. This trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement.
This can't be. Takatsuchi Aochi does not lose. Not to the likes of this rookie student.
You better start getting used to tough opposition.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What? Yes? This insult to the Aochi family name will never be forgotten.
You become conceited with age council, but the old had to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that.
And he does this cool samurai oh, he just cut off the guy's fucking... Oh my god.
A 1,000 millennia may pass, and still the Aochi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter of our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case.
I thank you, Your Excellency.
The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth as a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. But the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits, but what will it look like? I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asogi. Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey to discovery, to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can, absorb everything of the wider world that you were able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. I understand, Your Excellency.
What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden?
Never mind. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Oh, yes?
In you, I sense, how can I put it, unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards.
Thank you, Your Excellency. So, is that it? Oh, there's a bit more.
It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, not guilty.
Woo!
The red rare. It's Algie is still over there, just like he doesn't even know what the hell's going on anymore.
Yeah.
The court is now adjourned. Oh, what the fuck is that? I hope that's not picking up. Good lord.
22nd.
Well timed out.
The 22nd November, 2:46 p.m. Okay, that took 3 hours. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it! I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial!
Ryunosuke, you finally pulled it off. Congratulations.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma.
No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on the Yume University Street. Don't forget. Yeah.
Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off. Oh.
Oh, no, that is me. Okay. Congratulations to both of you preserving Naruhodo-san's innocence. My trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know.
Oh no.
Oh no, I didn't do anything.
Thank you so much. We didn't have that research report, Miss Bretz. I don't know how things would have turned out.
Your kind words should really be from my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to university and investigate.
Father? Yes, of course.
We've already guessed so.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sato Mikotoba.
Toba, yep.
Best girl, by the way.
Speaking of Mikotoba. Aw, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order. Naruhodo, you did an excellent job. Thank you, Professor. Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you. After all, your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Good friend? Oh, yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to UMA University, wasn't it? Yes, that's right.
Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably, that's when you met Dr. Wilson.
Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. Oh, you work together? I've never
heard you mention that name. I've never heard you mention that before.
Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, It's your turn, Asogi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. Science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot.
I will. I'll learn all that I can. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan.
You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you?
Of course I am. A Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go. And cuts down anything that's in my way.
Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes.
That reminds me, what's happened to the woman? To Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder.
Ah, yes, her. Not easy to tell you this, but... What do you mean? She's surely going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai. What? Shanghai? Giselle Brett will not appear again in court in this country. I'm certain of that. What? But why not?
It's a matter of consular wait, what? Consular, I think this is me? It's a matter of consular jurisdiction. Yeah, it is, okay.
Inspector Hosonaga.
It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate.
But what's all this about consular jurisdiction?
We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan.
What? Can't try her? But then who? Who's going to bring her to justice?
A British consular court will hear her case, somewhere far away where our voices can't be heard.
But why a consular court?
Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we've signed the Friendship Treaty.
Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right.
Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke a consular court just like that.
Oh, can't they?
Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our governments making secret agreements about our fate, does it? Something strange is going on.
So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. I'm afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. God fucking damn it. I'm with you, Renosuke. This is some real bullshit.
The British Government Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this as a case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously.
But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil. This new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I'll have no doubt. That woman will receive the judgment she deserves.
Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it.
Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. But Professor...
You're right. This is no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Renosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, might I suggest La Carnival? As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink.
You're a detective, Hosonaga-san, aren't you?
Let's not worry about details for now. To La Carnival. Will you accompany us, Professor?
Of course. The carnival's food is second to none.
I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release.
Oh yes, thank you. God. So Giselle Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson.
That's an interesting point. We never did find out her motive.
Kazuma.
Yes, Ryunosuke.
I just wanted to say thanks again, that's all. Really saved my skin today.
I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work.
Your skills made the difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world.
I'm not so sure about that. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one that's destined to become a great lawyer, not me.
What? Come on, be serious.
If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it. For being a defense lawyer, I mean.
Oh no, not me. All that tense verbal combat? I never want to go through that ever again. I just did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you.
That's the point.
Sorry? What do you mean, that's the point?
Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win?
Knowledge of the law?
No. The ability to believe.
To believe? To believe what?
A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times.
Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it.
I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make a choice about what to believe in, and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in the courtroom, you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you chose to believe in even then... well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person.
Believing in your client.
Just look at Dave's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience, but you never stopped believing in me.
Well,
You faced seemingly hopeless situations time and again, but you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it, through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me.
Thanks, Kazuma.
There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke.
He's gonna ask us to go to Britain with him.
Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me.
It sounds serious. What is...
Ah, you're still here, are you?
Oh, Inspector Hosonaga!
I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go. Thank you. We'll be right there. Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory.
And your study tour to Great Britain. Don't forget.
Ah yes, that too.
So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma. Professor Mikotoba. Sato-san, who acted as my assistant. Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still. My god. I love how, like, when it gets to that point, he does the shock reaction.
Yeah.
It's because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life.
with that.
We're at the end of case 1.
Yes.
Ooh, Fence
Hey,
debut
nice.
awarded. Save my progress? Hell yeah!
Alright.
And I think that's where we're gonna stop recording here.
Oh, okay.
Because I've got errands to do.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so, honestly, that first trial was really good. Like, I fell in love with the cast pretty quick. I loved the trial system. Loved everything about it. Straight up.
And then case 2 is going to introduce you to the other half of the gameplay cycle thing.
Which I'm assuming is, like, gathering evidence, like, from the crime scene and shit.
Yep.
But yeah, honestly, this game, lots of fun. I would definitely play this again.
Good.
Like,
Because
already
it's so good.
worth a replay.
Yeah.
But like, I love more of this. I'm definitely gonna see this through to the end for sure.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, you have a hateable first, like, killer.
But at the same time, you're supposed to hate her.
You're supposed to hate her.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that as a downside. I'm saying that
Oh,
as
I know. I'm just saying.
Goddamn,
Yeah.
like, I've not hated someone since I hated Kamashita from Persona 5. Like, god fucking damn, the ego of that bitch.
Although there are even more hateable killers later in the game too.
Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot fucking wait. But anyway, this has been the GreatRieck,
This is Mendel.
and we will see you next time.
Godspeed.
Godspeed.